To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
News team, assemble!
Joining us live because if you want to know anything about the Outer Banks, Sam Walker's the dude to fill you in.
The sea was angry that day, my friends, like an old man trying to send back soup in a deli.
Always appreciate talking.
Always good stuff with Sam Walker in the Outer Banks.
Now here's Les Nesman and the news.
And good morning, everyone. Welcome to OBX Today.
News team!
Hey, I already got all playing. It is OBX Today for Tuesday, the 19th of October. Glad you're along with us for another edition here on the OBX Today Facebook page and Sam Walker OBX YouTube channel. All your headlines of the day, which you'll find at obxtoday.com, and some other stuff too. So let's get right to it. All right, so what's going on? We do have new information on or at least identification has been released of a man who died back on the 10th of October, a week ago Sunday, in Kill Double Hills. Police identifying the 36-year-old man who was lying on the beach road after he was struck by a vehicle and died. Matthew J. Adams suffered head and leg injuries, was transported to the Outer Banks Hospital where he passed away. The collision happened around 8:32 p.m. at the intersection of North Virginia Dare Trail and First Street. Investigators found that one car traveling northbound on Highway 12 swerved after the driver spotted something in the road just 6 feet north of a crosswalk, but a second vehicle following behind could not avoid striking Adams. Police said there's overhead street lighting in the area of that intersection. Both vehicles were traveling the posted speed limit of 35 miles an hour at the time, and there was a light mist falling at the time of that collision. It may have obscured the driver's vision. Impairment was not a factor for either driver, who were both tested at the scene. The Kill Double Hills police added money. They have been unable to determine why Adams was lying in the roadway and are still asking for anyone who might have been a witness or has relevant information to contact Detective Sudduth at the Kill Double Hills Police Department at 252-449-5350. A Hyde County jury on Monday convicted a Greenville drug dealer on second-degree murder charges. That was for the 2017 overdose deaths of 16-year-old Sarah Reams and 23-year-old Ryan Gibbs. Alfornia Anderson Jr. Was sentenced to between 30 and 38 years in state prison. He's been held since not long after those deaths back 4 years ago. He was given the minimum of 30 years, a maximum of 38 years. Reams and Gibbs overdosed on June 1st, 2017, after buying what they thought was cocaine. Experts testified the drug that killed them was actually heroin with fentanyl. According to press release from District Attorney's Office in District 2, the prosecutor in that case said that there's some responsibility on the victims, even though they ingested heroin thinking it was cocaine. Unfortunately, they paid for that decision with their lives, according to the prosecutor. Testimony in the trial indicated that Gibbs had contacted Tiffany Weber, who's also charged with murder, and asked Weber for cocaine. Weber contacted Anderson and told her that he didn't have any. Anderson and Weber stayed in contact throughout the night by way of phone calls and texts. Eventually, Anderson told her to meet him at a known drug hangout in Englehard. In exchange for $100. Weber pled guilty to 2 counts of second-degree murder in 2018 and testified for the state against Anderson. Weber has not yet been sentenced. Both have been in jail since June of 2017. Reams and Gibbs were found dead in Gibbs's kitchen later after ingesting those drugs. So that case has been adjudicated. Again, the only sentencing left will be for the woman that was involved with that, Tiffany Weber. Turn attention over to Elizabeth City. The Daily Advance reporting yesterday that the Elizabeth City Police Department is investigating a fatal shooting at Hickory Village Mobile Home Park Sunday afternoon involved a 5-year-old child. Deputy Chief James Avens confirmed Monday that police are investigating but they declined to release any details to the Daily Advance, saying that it's still under investigation. Reached again yesterday afternoon and said the police department did not intend to issue a news release regarding that shooting. They did not say if any criminal charges are forthcoming in that. It appears to have happened, like I said, yesterday or Sunday afternoon, but it does not appear that there is going to be any information released on that case at this point. But we will follow that story and get you more details as they become available. A Roanoke Island man's been charged with allegedly assaulting a sheriff's deputies over the weekend, including trying to choke one. According to a Dare County Sheriff's Office news release, deputies working the B District responded to a disabled vehicle on Highway 64 near Amanda Street in Manteo around 7 p.m. Sunday. And during the investigation for possible impairment of the driver, allegedly became combative and assaulted the deputies. 25-year-old Hunter Lane Garza of Manteo was charged with felony assault by strangulation, felony malicious conduct by a prisoner, and misdemeanor counts of resisting arrest, possession of marijuana, and possession of drug paraphernalia. He was booked into the Dare County Detention Center in lieu of $30,000 bond. If you're looking for a one-stop shop for website design and maintenance, then you need to get in touch with us at Jam Media Solutions. We have launched Jam Digital Services. WordPress powers approximately a third of all of the web, including some of the largest, most complex properties on the internet, including OBXtoday.com. For businesses, your website's the face of your company online. Jam Digital Services puts your best face forward with a beautiful custom design website that looks and functions great on all devices from desktop to mobile. All packages include basic SEO services to help your website rank highly on Google and Bing, along with social media integration and contact forms to help customers reach you easily. And you don't have to find a home for your website. All packages include fast, secure hosting and maintenance and security updates for one fair monthly price. Jam Digital Services will also soon be providing additional services such as email marketing, mobile geofencing, search and site retargeting, and video services. For more information, visit jamdigitalservices.com or click on the ad on our site, obxtoday.com, and see how we can build a website for you. We're rolling on here on OBX Today for this Tuesday morning. I almost forgot what day it is. And here is the latest on the tropics. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Still no expected activity over the next 5 days as things have really quieted down in the Atlantic. There is a little area out in the eastern Pacific off Mexico that looks like it may develop similar to what Hurricane Patricia did last week and made impact in Mexico on the Pacific coast. That is a possibility again. But on the Atlantic side, nothing expected. There is some possible development in the Caribbean, maybe next week. Some of the models are indicating that we might see some activity down in the Caribbean, south of Hispaniola and Puerto Rico. That could happen next week. And there's a possibility of seeing a little bit of activity off of Africa in the intertropical zone. But right now, there is nothing on the map for the tropics over the next 5 days. So it's quiet, to say the least, out in the tropics. Good news there. All right, more here on OBX Today. As we roll on this Tuesday morning, a state judge, a Union County judge, is giving state lawmakers 3 more weeks to put billions of dollars to new funding into public schools before he potentially orders them to do so. State Superior Court Judge David Lee said Monday he can compel the General Assembly to fund a plan that calls for $1.7 billion in new school funding over the next 2 years. The goal of the new money would be to try to provide students with their state constitutional guarantee to a sound basic education. But Lee said that he would wait until at least November 8th before issuing a court order. In the meantime, attorneys representing the school districts and parents in the long-running Leandro school funding lawsuit will draft an order that they want Lee to sign that would compel lawmakers to fund the fund the multi-billion-dollar plan. In the News Observer reporting this morning, Lee said yesterday during the hearing that, quote, "I think everyone knows that I'm ready to pull out of the station and see what's around the next bend. But I'm certainly willing to take a reasonable amount of time to address and better inform the court as to specifically what you believe ought to be the case here." A constitutional showdown is looming between the courts and the legislature. The leaders of the Republican-controlled General Assembly say that Lee has no authority to make them provide the money. But public education advocacy groups, some of whom held a prayer vigil Monday, say judicial action is needed. The Leandro case was initially filed in 1994 by low-wealth school districts to get more state funding. The case is named after a student from Hope County who has since graduated from college. Over the years, the state Supreme Court has ruled that the state constitution guarantees every child what's, a quote, "an opportunity to receive a sound basic education," and that the state was failing to meet that obligation. Lee is a retired Union County judge and registered Democrat, was assigned the case by the Supreme Court in 2016. That was after Judge Howard Manning, who had overseen that case for many years, retired. Moved on to a different court. Attorneys for the plaintiffs said the courts have waited long enough for lawmakers to act. David Hinojosa, attorney representing parents in the lawsuit, said they have no hope, no remedy without judicial intervention. Talking about students, courts must act to enforce the rights of school children. In June, Lee approved a 7-year plan agreed to by the State Board of Education, Democratic Governor Roy Cooper's administration, and the plaintiffs. That $5.6 billion plan includes things such as a 5% pay raise for teachers, more funding for low-wealth school districts, and expansion of the North Carolina pre-K program. Lawmakers are negotiating a new budget with Cooper, but earlier versions adopted by the House and Senate provided only a small portion of the Leandro plan. This is occurring at a time when the state has a budget surplus of anywhere from $6 to $8 million. At a September court hearing, Lee gave lawmakers yesterday as a deadline to fully fund the first 2 years of the Leandro plan. Lee said Monday that he's waited as long as he reasonably could for the state to adopt a budget. He said the constitutional guarantee of a sound basic education should give the court sufficient authority to enforce what everyone has agreed to as not only a reasonable and proper but necessary plan. Now, during Monday's hearing, attorneys discussed the actions taken by courts in other states to force lawmakers to increase school funding. The Washington State Supreme Court held their state in contempt of court, issuing $100,000 a day fines. The fines reached $105 million before state lawmakers approved a new school funding plan. In Kansas, a judge ordered the state's public schools be closed until funding was increased. Lee and attorneys for the parents and school districts said they want to avoid that option. Now, the General Assembly isn't officially a party in the lawsuit, but Lee said he considers lawmakers to be defendants as well. The Senator Berger, who is the Senate President Pro Tem, his press office issued a statement calling Lee unhinged. They noted how also appears to have suggested the legislature has always been a party to this case. Berger's office said this is clearly not true, as the out-of-state consultants excluded the legislature from their closed-door process in developing a multi-billion-dollar spending proposal. Lee noted how GOP legislative leaders have cited state statute to involve themselves in other court cases on the grounds that the General Assembly is a party anytime the state is listed as a defendant. So that's the latest on the Leandro case that could have a major impact on how schools are funding in North Carolina. And we will continue to follow that story here at OBX Today. And we'll have more OBX Today coming up next.
White Chevy Suburban. Hi, I'm Sergeant Knight with the Duck Police Department. Whether you're walking, biking, or driving through town, we want you to arrive safely at your destination. Safety is everyone's responsibility. We are pleased to be participants in the statewide pedestrian and bicycle safety program called Watch For Me NC. Please visit watchformenc.org for information about the program and how you can help. We recognize that our large visitor population may not be familiar with the traffic patterns and rules here in Duck. Please allow me to go over a few of these rules in place to keep you safe. Duck Road, the main road, is very busy. If you are a pedestrian walking through town, it is very important that you walk facing traffic. This gives you a better awareness of vehicle and bicycle traffic. Crosswalks are in place to help you safely cross the road. When used correctly, crosswalks can even help with traffic flow. Only cross the street at designated crosswalk locations. Attempting to cross elsewhere can confuse and surprise drivers. If you see more people walking to where you are crossing, wait to see if you can cross as one larger group. Smaller groups crossing more frequently can cause backups to become worse. If you do not intend to cross the street, please stand back from the street so as not to confuse drivers of your intent. Be sure to make eye contact with drivers to ensure that they see you and are stopping prior to crossing. Stay alert. While waiting to cross at the crosswalk, stay off your personal devices and pay attention to your surroundings. What is intent, you might ask? Intent is shown by putting a foot in the first white line and raising your hand to get a driver's attention. Make eye contact with the driver to ensure they are stopping. As you cross, make eye contact with the driver on the other side of the road to ensure they are stopping.
All right, welcome back here on OBX Today on this Tuesday morning, and it is a big day at obxtoday.com because it is the best of the beach. Voting day starts today. Voting starts today for best of the beach, and thanks for everybody who made the nominations. We've picked out the top 5 from each category, and now you can go vote. Just go to obxtoday.com and start submitting your votes. Voting runs through November 4th at 5 p.m. Again, November 4th at 5 p.m. We're going to announce the winners on November the 5th. So again, Best of the Beach voting is underway. Thanks to everybody who nominated in all the different categories that we have at obxtoday.com. And now it's time to vote for the Best of the Beach in all the various categories. And again, that's the top 5 nominees that you submitted. That's who gets to be in the Best of the Beach voting, and it's underway right now at obxtoday.com. The Environmental Protection Agency announced Monday an approach to address pollution nationwide from the types of toxic forever chemicals that have been plaguing southeastern North Carolina for decades, a plan that includes listing certain of those substances as hazardous under the Superfund Act. EPA Administrator Michael Regan is the former Secretary of Environment in North Carolina, now head of EPA, announced a 3-year PFAS strategic roadmap Monday to a handful gathered at NC State University's Lake Raleigh fishing pier. Governor Roy Cooper, current Environmental Quality Secretary Elizabeth Bisser, and Congresswoman Deborah Ross joined Regan for the announcement. Strategic roadmap, the result of work by the EPA Council on PFAS that Regan put in place in April, focuses on 3 strategies: increase investments in research, leverage authorities to act now to restrict PFAS chemicals, or known as forever chemicals, from being released into the environment, and accelerate the cleanup of contamination. PFAS are man-made chemicals used in industry and consumer products since the 1940s in everything. From the non-stick on your frying pan to vehicle finishes. So we're going to have some more about that at obxna.com. Our friends over at the North Carolina Coastal Federation and coastalreview.org have been following that for quite a while. We've been able to run some of those stories. The problem really does appear to be down in the southeast corner of the state, especially on the Cape Fear River, where Keymores and DuPont have a plant outside Fayetteville, between Fayetteville and Clinton. The National Marine Fisheries Service has closed the entire Atlantic mackerel fishery in federal waters through the end of the year. That's from 3 miles out farther. The service is prohibiting vessels from fishing for or landing more than 5,000 pounds of Atlantic mackerel per trip from federal waters through December 31st. Vessels may not land Atlantic mackerel more than once per calendar day, officials said on Thursday. That's for Atlantic mackerel. Some news for those folks who go down to Ocracoke and like to use the lifeguard beach there. There's going to be a paving project coming up next Monday. So the parking lot will be closed for about a week for paving and repair. Going to get a new layer of asphalt and new striping as part of the project to repair damage incurred while that parking lot was used for Hurricane Dorian debris storage. The restroom facility at the Ocracoke Beach access will remain open. Parking, though, won't be available. You have to go up to the Ocracoke campground access to park. During that closure, it's going to last a week. But they're going to leave the bathrooms open because so many people go from driving on the beach and stop by there. The Dare County Library has announced the next virtual presentation as part of its monthly virtual enrichment series for adults, a novel writing series that will kick off a week from today. Throughout the novel writing series, participants are invited to join Dare County Library staff for a discussion about writing, self-publishing, and finding an agent. Those who sign up can attend one or more topics during the series, which officially begins with a free virtual novel writing kickoff program that will be held Tuesday and then continues with 2 additional novel writing topics in November. To find out more about that, you can go to the Things to Do page at obxtoday.com. We got more coming up here. Oh, yeah. You know what? Let's get you this one, and then we'll take a break. All right. Let me throw my display back up here. How about persimmons? It's persimmon season here in North Carolina, and some folks that like persimmons a lot happen to be the Corolla Wild Horses. And Corolla Wild Horse Fund posted a little video the other day of one. Hey, this should have not happened. Never know when. Okay. There we go. Something going on with Facebook. But the Corolla Wild Horse Fund on their Facebook page posting a video of one of their residents eating some persimmons, which a little spicy. I don't know. The horses probably don't care. I'm not a big fan of them. But wild horses can be seen pulling the fruit directly off the tree. That's what Midnight is doing there, as you see in that video, which is up on the Facebook page. We'll get it up at obxtoday.com so you can check it out a little closer. They're also foraging for them once they fall off the ground. So, yeah, persimmons, they do have a little bit of bite to them, to say the least. Not something I was a fan of. We had a big persimmon tree out in the front yard of on the canal side of our house we used to live in. And, man, did they make a mess when you didn't clean them up. So, anyway, check that out. We'll have some more at obxtoday.com. There is a persimmon tree over at the rescue farm in Grandy. And all the rescue Mustangs love them, and especially Raymond the Mule, who's still doing good. But, yeah, Andrea, some persimmons are good, but those not so much. So, all right, we'll step aside here for a timeout and be back with you on OBX Today.
Our pet of the week for this week is Roger. This sweet boy came to us from another shelter. Roger was emaciated and clearly not taken care of in his past life. Even though Roger did not feel good, he gave us all the kisses and loves to give hugs. His entire body will wiggle when he sees people, and he has the best head tilt. Roger is gaining weight and feels much better. He could go home with a family and another dog. To adopt Roger or foster one of our other animals, you can come visit us Tuesday through Sunday at our shelter located in Manteo. This week, join us here at the shelter for a volunteer orientation Saturday the 23rd at 11 a.m. This is a brilliant opportunity to get involved with helping our cats and dogs. For more information, visit our website at www.obxspca.org or visit our OBX SPCA Facebook page.
And back here on OBX Today on Facebook and YouTube on this Tuesday morning. And let's turn to sports. We'll start with what's happening locally. Volleyball winding down the regular season this week. In fact, they believe today may actually be the last day of the regular season. I know some of the tournaments have their championships today. The brackets will be coming out Some rivalry matchups. First Light's at Currituck, Camden at Manteo, Cape Hatteras hosts Beargrass Charter. Perquimans is at Bertie, Northeastern at Pasquotank, Hereford County at Edenton, Pamlico at Northside. Perquimans expected to be the number 1 seed in the East 1A. Camden, the number 1 seed in the East 2A. When the brackets come out, they both have been at the top of the power ratings since they came out for the first time last month, and they're expected to hold on. They're expected to be the number 1 seeds, winning the Perquimans winning the Four Rivers, and Camden winning the Northeastern Coastal Championships. Let's see. Soccer, just one match today. That's Ocracoke at Columbia. College basketball, Gonzaga's going to top the AP preseason poll. Came out yesterday. Duke's going to start 9th. North Carolina 19th. Virginia 25th. Dick Vitale announcing yesterday he has been diagnosed with cancer for the second time this year. He's been undergoing tests that show he has lymphoma. Vitale announced back in August he'd underwent multiple surgeries to remove melanoma and was declared cancer-free at the time. His doctor said that the lymphoma diagnosis is unrelated. So our best out to, I call him the Pied Piper. First time I ever saw him work at an ACC tournament was the first tournament I worked in Charlotte. The last one at the old Charlotte Coliseum, not the old Charlotte Coliseum, but the second Charlotte Coliseum. And he came through the hallway there, the media room, and it was just like he had a whole entourage following him through out to the floor. Anyway, our best to Dickie V. All right, baseball last night. It was Boston over Houston 12-3 to take a 2-1 lead. The American League Championship Series. Game 4 is at 8 o'clock tonight. Game 3 of the NLCS, Atlanta and the Dodgers, with the Braves up 2-0. That starts at 5 o'clock. And then Monday Night Football, Tennessee edged Buffalo at home 34-31. And that's sports here on OBX Today. I'm going to be wrapping things up after you see this.
Get ready for the Dare to Scare 5K and Sweet Treat Fun Run on Saturday, October 23rd. Sponsored by the Dare County Center. The 3.1-mile course begins at the Coastal Studies Institute, winding through Psycho and along the trails ending at the Dare County Center. This is a rain or shine event, with all proceeds benefiting the Dare County Center annual toy drive. So get ready for the Dare to Scare 5K and Sweet Treat Fun Run on Saturday, October 23rd. For more information, to register, or to volunteer, go to www.darenc.com/DC Center.
OBX Today Weather Center forecast for today. Looks like it's going to be another nice one. We got sunny skies today and a high 73 with northwest winds around 10 to 15 miles an hour. Clear tonight, a low 60 with west winds of 10 to 15. Wednesday, sunny and a high 75. West winds around 10 to 15, gusts of 20. Didn't even give you the map. The old high pressure parked over the mountains right now. That's what's keeping us pretty nice, in fact. Yeah, there you go. You can take a look at that. But you can see that high pressure. That's what we got currently right now. There's a little front coming across the Rockies and into the Midwest. That's going to be our next rainmaker, which looks like it'll be on Friday. So again, that forecast looks like this. It's again today sunny 73, tonight clear 60, sunny and 75 tomorrow. Thursday sunny with a high of 77. Friday partly sunny, some showers in the afternoon, 76. Showers get out Friday night and then clears off for the weekend. Saturday is 72 and sunny. Sunday sunny 68, sunny Monday and 69. Coastal marine forecast. Northwest winds at 10 to 20 knots, 1 to 2 foot waves in the sounds. Seas 3 to 4 feet. Rip current risk is low. Water temperatures right around 70. They're starting to drop a little bit. Nags Head, Red Anthony, and Avon all now at 69. Nice. Ducks at 70. Low tide coming up at Oregon Inlet at 216. Sunset tonight at 6:21. Sunrise tomorrow at 7:13. The Hunter moon, the full moon tomorrow rises at 6:37 on Wednesday. And currently outside our studios in Uptown Nags Head right now, we've got bright sunshine, not a cloud in the sky, 61 degrees. And that's going to wrap it up for OBX Today here on Facebook and YouTube. Thanks for joining us. Back with you tomorrow morning. Have yourself a great Tuesday, everybody. We'll see you.
Transmitted by carrier wave signal. Radio.